to reveal our top 5 week 1 NFL games. I want you to decide. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I can go first on this because I probably have a couple games on my list that you're going to be like, what?
As you always do. It's that time of year. We're back, folks.
So, at number 5, at 1 o'clock on CBS in Gillette Stadium, Raiders, Patriots. I think this is a really interesting game. You got Drake May going into his second season, now with Mike Vrabel as his head coach and Josh McDaniels as his offensive coordinator. Meanwhile, on the other side, Pete Carroll is now the head coach with the Raiders, and Geno Smith is the starting quarterback. So what's that going to look like? I think this is a very interesting matchup to start the season. So that's number 5 for me. Number 4, I'm heading to the Rocky Mountains for Tennessee at Denver. Cam Ward is making his first career start against that defense in Denver. Like, Cam Ward was not talked about a lot this offseason. Tennessee, we don't think they're going to be very good, but you know there's always that one team that comes out of nowhere and shocks everybody. Maybe Tennessee could do that. We'll see. I have Denver winning the division, and I know I'm not the only one. So a lot of people are high on Denver. So to me, it's a very intriguing game.
Can I say one thing about the Broncos? Because this is what I find weird about them, okay? I'm going to say this out loud. Most people had either the Chargers or the Chiefs winning the division prior to the Rashawn Slater left tackle injury. How does that injury all of a sudden make Denver the favorite? That math doesn't make sense to me.
That's a big loss for the Chargers, honestly.
It is, but how does that automatically jump Denver from 3rd to 1st? That's my argument.
I really like the pairing of Sean Payton and Bo Nix. Bo Nix could be Sean Payton's next Drew Brees, and we saw how well that partnership went. They won a Super Bowl. They won the division multiple times. They should have won more than one Super Bowl, honestly. Number 3 for me, I'm going to the Pacific Northwest. 49ers Seahawks. I don't have the 49ers being very good this season. I don't think you do either, if I remember correctly.
We both have them at 9-8.
Okay. So a game over 500. And then I have the Seahawks going 10-7. You are much lower on the Seahawks. Sam Darnold is their new starting quarterback. They moved on from Geno Smith. San Francisco, they're going to start the season healthy, most likely. But Brandon Ayuk is coming off of an injury. What's he going to be like? George Kittle, he's older. No Debo. It's an interesting game, and 49ers Seahawks is always a very difficult game. And it's usually a very good game. And then number 2 is Ravens Bills. It's Lamar versus Josh Allen. Do I need to say any more than that? And then number 1, Lions Packers. This one was obvious for me. Lions Packers. Mike, Detroit, they won the division. They still feel like they're the kings of the NFC North. They won both games against Green Bay last season, but people are picking Green Bay to take the division and win the Super Bowl or play in the Super Bowl. They traded for Micah. Can Jordan Love take that next step, take control of the Packers offense? How does Detroit replace Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn? For me, this game is number 1.
Before I go, I want to answer Grandizer's question because Grandizer, again, if you missed it, our NFL predictions were uploaded via videos today on the Championship Rings YouTube channel. I believe, Josh, you will have those uploaded tomorrow, Thursday on your channel, correct?
I plan on uploading those tomorrow so that they're ready to go for Thursday.
But I wanted to just tell Grandizer real quick, order a spoiler. So we both have the Raiders doing well. I have them as a playoff team. You do not. You have them just missing the playoffs. You have New England with 11 wins in the playoffs as a 6th seed. I have them just missing the playoffs at 9-8.
No, it was not dominated by wrestling. We did a whole prediction special on Sunday.
Yeah, so that's what we're referring to. Okay. With that in mind, Josh, we agree on 2 games on your list, and none we agree on in the same order.
Okay.
Number 5, and I didn't even want to do this because I'll be honest, I'm not that hyped for this game. There's probably better games I could have picked, but it's my team. I had to do it. Eagles Cowboys, opening night. What are the Cowboys going to look like without Micah Parsons? Are they going to be motivated by Jerry's old ass? And Jalen Carter and Saquon Barkley begin what I believe will be offensive and defensive player of the year campaigns. The Super Bowl banner gets brought down. Jalen Hurts gets to prove to his haters once again that he is a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League this year. My Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, number 5.
Okay.
Number 4 is we're going to Chicago on Monday Night Football for J.J. McCarthy's first game as a starter against Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. I am very interested in what Caleb Williams is going to do this year. I'm going to make a prediction to you right now, Josh. If the Bears are as bad as they were a year ago, it's not going to be the fault of the coach, and they will move on from the quarterback before they move on from Ben Johnson. Caleb Williams has 17 games to prove that he is an NFL legitimate starting quarterback. I think he will do so. And on the other side of it, I want to see J.J. McCarthy. I want to see if he is really the real deal with Kevin O'Connell and all those weapons, or if they did make a mistake moving off Sam Darnold. Very interested in that week 1 game.
Okay.
Number 3, the game that you had number 1 on your list. NFC North, again, Lions, Packers. To me, I'm not all in on the Lions this year. And there's, to me, a couple better games out there than this one because I think Green Bay could win this game pretty handily. I think the Lions are going to get off to a slow start. New coordinators, Jared Goff outside. I know it's warm weather, but he's still outside. And there's just, again, I like the Lions this year, but it does feel like something is off about the Lions. And I do want to see what the Packers look like. It sounds like Micah Parsons, though, may be on a pitch count. He actually is going to get an injection from his back, so it was more hurt than me and you both believed, I think, initially. But I don't have this at the top of my list.
Okay.
Number 2, we're going to go to Brazil on Friday night for the Chiefs and the Chargers. To me, this is
exclusively on YouTube.
Yes, it is. And to me, this is a very fascinating game because if the Chargers win this game, it's going to set the tone for the whole year. If the Chiefs win this game, it's going to set the tone for them the whole year. Who's going to set the tone early on in the AFC West between these 2 teams? Because they both believe they are the best team in the AFC West. I know you believe in Denver, but in my opinion, these are going to be the 2 teams that are fighting over the AFC West for years to come. And I think it's a very important game for both teams narrative-wise early in the season, especially for the Chargers who are dealing with all those injuries.
Fair enough.
And number 1 needs no introduction. I mean, come on. Ravens, Bills, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, first Sunday night game of the year, rematch of the divisional round. if Mark Andrews catches that ball, maybe we're having a different conversation about who won the Super Bowl entirely. And the Ravens, again, I don't have them winning the division this year. You have them making the Super Bowl this year. This is put up or shut up for Lamar Jackson. He finally has to get over the hump. A lot like Josh Allen. I said it in our prediction show. Both of these teams are in very similar situations where the only teams they seemingly can't get past for Baltimore, it's Buffalo and Kansas City. For Buffalo, it's really Cincinnati and Kansas City. Can either of these teams get over the hump and finally win the big one this year? And it all starts Sunday, week 1.
I like it. So the only ones we disagree on, I have Raiders, Patriots, and I have Titans, Broncos.
So Raiders, Patriots, I agree. I think it's a very fascinating game. Titans, Broncos, Josh, I think Cam Ward, I think he's going to have a very good year. I think it's going to be a rough week 1. We know rookie quarterbacks don't do well in week 1. Look at last year. Remember Jaden Daniels last year? Remember the Commanders went to Tampa? Jaden Daniels had only like 100 yards and they got destroyed by Tampa Bay.
I remember that, yes.
I think we can see that very same situation happen for Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. So that's why I don't have that game high up on my list. I considered Bucks Falcons because I think it's going to be a good shootout down there. I believe the game's in Atlanta, in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium there between those two NFC South competitors. And then I also considered Steelers-Jets because of the storylines behind Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields switching teams. But then I thought, I don't really want to talk about Aaron Rodgers, so I didn't include it.
Yeah. The one game I definitely didn't consider was Cardinals Saints, because who wants to talk about?
That's my lock of the week. Arizona is my lock of the week. I know I absolutely crapped on the New York Giants on our prediction show, but if I'm gonna pick a major upset, Giants could beat the Commanders. I'm not picking it, but I think if there's an upset to happen, that could be the upset.
I could see it possibly.
I know for you, the upset is Cleveland over Cincinnati, which that I don't see.
Cincinnati is notorious for getting off to slow starts. The Bengals have struggled against Cleveland, especially in the Joe Burrow era. Last season was the first time the Bengals had beaten the Browns in Cleveland with Joe Burrow as their starting quarterback.
And my argument is I think Cincinnati knows this. They even played guys in the preseason because they know they have to get off to a fast start. I don't know if their defense is going to be better early. I think like Vic Fangio, when he first came over to Philly, they may struggle early, but I think they have an easy schedule early, and I think that defense will be better than what it was a year ago.
I don't trust the Bengals. Especially that defense. I think that defense is going to be hot garbage just like it was a year ago. Great. You got Trey Hendrickson.
I don't know how it could get possibly worse. I don't know. And
great. You got Trey Hendrickson. Great. You got Shamar Stewart. Okay. And what?
And they're going to have a bunch of young pieces that we will learn about throughout the season. Their defense is going to be middle of the pack. It's not going to be great, but I think it's going to surprise people because they have been crapped on all offseason about how they have the worst defense in the world. Those guys are going to take that personally.
Because they do have the worst defense. Well, actually, I think they have the second worst defense. The only one that's worse is New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a very good week 1. Outside of Cardinals Saints, I don't see a lot of bad games in the schedule. It's very hard to come up with a top 5.
Yeah. Dolphins, I did actually consider Dolphins Colts also.
Oh, I forgot about that. You know what? I'm not going to mind that game. I mean, it's Daniel Jones' first start. I want to watch the Colts. You have them as the worst team in the AFC. Actually, I think you have the Dolphins and Colts as the 2 worst teams in the AFC.
Yeah, I do. Which the Colts have nice pieces. I like Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Warren, and you mentioned it. Like, they have DeForest Buckner on defense. And I like Shane Steichen as their head coach. The problem is that team has been extremely dysfunctional. Daniel Jones is their starting quarterback.
Can I ask you a question, though? Didn't we say the same thing about the Giants in 2022? Dysfunctional. Daniel Jones, their quarterback. We like their pieces, especially on defense. They didn't have a lot of weapons at wide receiver. We like their running back. They went 9-8 and made the playoffs.
Listen, I want the Colts to prove me wrong. I do. But they gave up on Anthony Richardson. I bet he gets traded to San Francisco midway through the season. That's my...
I'll throw you another one. Cleveland.
It wouldn't be surprising, but in all seriousness, I do think Anthony Richardson will get traded to the 49ers midway through the season. But I with the Colts, I want to believe in them, but they're dysfunctional. I don't trust them with Daniel Jones. No.
Oh, here's another one. I do think, and I'm going to call them because they're your NFC team. Your Seahawks, I think, will upset the Niners on Sunday.
Oh, I would love that. I know you don't think they're going to be very good, but I could see a scenario where if Matt Stafford isn't healthy, Seattle could steal that division.
They could. I like Arizona way more than a lot of people. I mean, for God's sakes, Colin Cowherd agrees with you. He has Seattle as the sixth best team in football.
So, again, I told you this on Sunday. I want to believe in Arizona, but again, let me see that Kyler Marvin Harrison connection. If they can get on the same page, okay, fine.
Because I am projecting that they're going to have a big year. That's my biggest thing for Arizona is I think Kyler and Harrison are going to have a big year. And I think that defense, you talk about a good defense, I think Arizona by the end of the year could have a sneaky top 5 defense in the league.
Josh is always, well, okay, with your Dolphins, like.
Yeah. Grandizer, the Dolphins stink. Mike McDaniel is going to be fired by week 5. He's not funny anymore. He's not clever. Quite frankly, he ruined his welcome after he scored 70 points on the Broncos and then decided, I'm too cold to play the Chiefs.
Yeah. And the Chiefs just said, well, eat shit.
You know what? This may be crazy, but don't be surprised if by the trade deadline, we're talking about Tyreek Hill being back in Kansas City.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. Tyreek Hill's not going to be a Dolphin this whole season. I'm surprised to this point that he still is a Dolphin. Like, they traded Jalen Ramsey. By the way, I figured out why I confused Josh Simmons and Josh Sweat. It's because the Chiefs drafted Josh Simmons.
Yes, the offensive tackle.
Yes. So that's where my head was at.
Okay, that's a reference to Sunday's show. But that'll wrap up everything for week 1. We'll be back next week talking all things week 2 college football. No. Okay, they end up number 2 in the NFC West. I thought he said the number 2 seed. I misread that for a second.
Yeah, no.
Not many teams can go to KC in the winter and win. Let's not pretend it's not. Well, the Dolphins can't win at anything below 50 degrees, Grandizer. I'm sorry to tell you that because your quarterback is not made for cold weather. You need to find a new quarterback. You need to find a new head coach. You need a complete teardown of the reorganization.
Yeah, the Dolphins are not a good team. It's just that simple. I don't know how we lost to them last season here in Cleveland when Tua didn't even play. I don't even
because you're the Browns.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But I believe in Stefanski. I like Andrew Berry. I hate that we're starting Joe Flacco. You know that's going to be the big story for the Browns going into week 2, because next week they're in Baltimore. It's going to be, oh, Joe Flacco's back in Baltimore.